Here with head coach Ben Boldt to preview the 2019 Concordia volleyball season. And as we sit here right now, you've had a little bit of time to see what this new team looks like all together with the returners and the newcomers. We talked in the spring a little bit after you got to see things kind of transpire then, and we discussed the motto, "This is us." And how do you feel like maybe the team has embraced what that means, and how have you continued to progress throughout the summer months and into preseason camp?
Yeah, we really right now I have really felt a strong work ethic from the team, and that's I think the biggest thing that we want to instill in them and make sure that comes out. There's a saying from John Wooden that we talked about early in the season that any polls that come out, any talk that happens from anyone else, that's just someone else's opinion on what's going to happen, and ultimately that doesn't matter. What really matters, the only thing that matters, is how you approach each day and your work ethic, and that's really something that they've taken to heart. And as far as improvement goes, from the beginning to the end, from the beginning of preseason to now, we're definitely improving. We're getting a lot cleaner in how we're playing volleyball, and it's all come down to work ethic so far.
Well, along those lines, did you expect maybe there to be some kind of attitude change? I mean, how does that work maybe when you're going into the second year of this with this coaching staff?
Yeah, I've really been impressed by our senior leadership. They have embraced the idea that this is their team, and we've started working with our seniors, our rising seniors, at the end of the season last year, and kind of put them into different roles and talk to them about leadership. And it was really messy at first in the spring season, and who was going to take charge of what and all those things. But they've really found their voice. They're firing on all cylinders right now. So the team is taking on the personality of that senior class, and I feel like they're meshing really well, and it's been really fun to see that so far.
If we look quickly back at last season, what was maybe something that was a pleasant surprise and something you knew maybe had to be worked on going into this year?
Yeah, we had a lot of tight sets last year, and it comes down to a communication error or an unforced error that we are ultimately responsible for. So really working on using your voice and really going after it when it's there, but managing it when it's not there. I think it has been something that we've really been intentional on in focusing on this preseason. So it's worked out well.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is obviously different in that you had a full season and a summer to kind of evaluate this team and evaluate what happened last year. How did that knowledge maybe inform your approach to the off season and when you entered preseason?
When we think about the team that we have coming back, we didn't lose a whole lot from the players that were out there, so we had a good idea of who we're going to be. I mean, we're going to be a fairly veteran team, but we're also going to have some younger players that are going to have to step in and perform. So it's been fun to see those younger players come in and see exactly where they're going to fit in the rotation, and the veteran players coming back. No real surprises. They came back in shape from our testing numbers that we had at the end of spring, and where we're at right now. We're either right there or better than what we had before. So we came back in shape. We came back with an edge to us, I think, and I'm excited to see how it all fits together.
every really good team seems to have a go-to player or two when they really need a point. And I think Emmy Noyd has some experience in that role. What have you seen in her development since you first got here?
She has really embraced our coaching staff, and she is going to be somebody that we lean on, obviously. We're going to have to be able to pass well in order to get her the ball. She's not an outside hitter where we can just throw it up high and just say, go get a point for us, Emmy. We have to use her when we're in system, and so she's gonna have to know when we get a ball that we can set middle, she's gonna have to be the woman. And we've worked with her a lot in her timing and how to set her correctly, and where she needs to attack to score. She had a lot of great attacks last year where she would really get a hold of one and it would be right to a defender. So they would get a good dig and come right back off of it. So some of the angles that we've had to work with her have been a kind of a change for her. So she's really come a long way in the direction she hits the ball. But more than that, really, she's somebody that our team can lean on. And when we lose a couple of points in a row, she's going to look at you right in the eye and say, "Hey, get me the ball." And that's the type of person that we want to have out there.
Are there other technical areas of the team's game that you'd say have really been a focus so far since they got back to campus?
Yeah, first contact. So, when I'm talking about first contact, I say serve, pass, block, and defense. If we can take care of all those things, then the setting and the attacking just get better and better. So I think our serving has been really good so far this season. So it's something that we work on every day, and the mentality of it is focus, right? We kind of think of a serve as very similar to shooting a free throw. You get back there, you do your routine, you go back and you nail it. So that focus is going to be important from the serving aspect.
I know a lot of times, I remember you saying last year you weren't really worried too much about what you could do offensively. Does that still seem to be pretty common? Where are things at in those terms?
Yeah, I suppose, when I said that last year, I'd kind of take it with a grain of salt. Just, you're always going to worry about something, but, when it comes to attacking, our players we've got a good rhythm, and I'm a coach that just likes to focus on defense, and I think that's still a big focus of ours. Attacking an offense is fun, and like I said about going for it when it's there and managing it when it's not, either of those can be a kill. And I think our players have to understand that when it's not there, we can't swing 100%. We can hit a shot and keep it in play, but those can also be kills. So it turns into our team becoming a smarter attacking team, I think. And I think that's going to be something that's going to be better for us this year.
Well, it's first chance to, I think, really bring in a full recruiting class for you. What's reasonable to expect as far as contributions from that group? I know there's some local, some really local, like Cameron Opfer, but what can they add to this team?
They can be themselves, and that's all that we're going to ask of them, and that they give their best. I think Cam can be somebody that's going to challenge for playing time right away. The ball just pops right off of her hand. She has some technical things to work through, but she's taken the coaching and she's doing a great job. I think that she's getting a little bit ahead of herself. Like she wants to be able to be the best right away, and there's things that we have to work through. Same thing with every single one of them. They're getting used to our system and getting used to us as coaches, and I've never once questioned work ethic. So now it just comes down to exactly what do you want at what point in time. So it'll be fun to see how they integrate in there. Kaylee Wiltfong has been another person that has done a really good job in camp so far. She's got a big arm. She's not the biggest player out there as far as height goes, but she plays big. So it's fun to see them going after it with the best that we have in our gym.
Well, you and Angie have been at a lot of different levels of competition in collegiate volleyball. How do you describe what the challenge is like of competing and really trying to compete at the top of a conference like the GPAC?
Yeah, the GPAC is a really, really fun conference, really competitive conference. We're sending half our league to the national tournament every year, and so when we're competing against that day in and day out, it's fun. It brings out the best in you. And there's very little margin for error. I think there are a lot of good teams out there that wouldn't finish well in our conference. So it brings out the best in you. And it's you say that Angie and I have been in a lot of different levels of play. It's a lot like the Big Ten, where the best team, there's 9 or 10 really good teams that are top 25 level in the Big Ten. So you can be a good team and not finish well in the Big Ten. So for us, we have a standing goal in our program to win the conference, and so it comes down to how we hold ourselves every day, and the decisions we make, the choices we make, and the level of effort that we're going to bring every day. So we're excited about competing in it and figuring out where we're at.
Well, from a scheduling standpoint, certainly I think that's probably always on your mind, that you have a really tough conference schedule. But what was the strategy as far as putting together this slate of non-conference games?
Yeah, it was, we go to the Northwestern College Tournament, which is going to have some top 25 type programs there. We get to play Corbin University, who's been to the national tournament quite a bit. So, we wanted to throw some challenges in there. And we also wanted to see, where our team could grow and maybe give our team some opportunity to do that. We need to prepare for the level of GPAC match that we're going to see. And we also have to be prepared and make sure that we have the right lineup going into it. So, our focus is that we do well in conference and, really prepare ourselves for the national tournament. So we're excited about the season. And, I really can't just wait to get started.
And the last thing, when you, after you really analyze the 2018 season, how does that work as far as coming up with a time frame? I want to be at this point by year 2, year 3, and down the line. Maybe you don't quite think in those terms, but obviously you said the standing goal for this program is to win a conference championship.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, timelines are always, tough. I can't predict the future, but as I think of it and as I go forward, I want to make sure that I set this standard on work ethic and the ability to get our players to compete with the best in the nation and the best in our conference. So when we're doing that, our timeline is now. There's no time to wait for any of that, and I think when you focus on that, the results are going to take care of themselves.